Hello everyone, welcome back. We're playing against someone whose name I won't read right now. Still have to concentrate on the first few moves. Go here. Quite an interesting position. I think it might be a good idea to avoid these bishop c4 related moves. So I think I'm gonna go here, followed by bishop e6. I'm sure I analyzed it at some point. I remember one of my opponents played like this. And now just develop somehow. He wants to get bishop c4 anyway. Let's go h5. Try to ask some questions for this knight, posing some problems. So how you like me now from the US? It's not so difficult, but without space it's also not too easy to read. Okay, so yeah, he wants to go knight f5, but allowing h4 is something I would not expect him to do. Okay, taking looks logical. I can't really, I don't see a good follow-up. I'll start with h4, then see what happens. Maybe I want to take on f5, however bad it might look. If he takes on e6, I take back, and the f5 square might be covered. So it's quite interesting. Knight f5 looks like the most principal move. Then I have to come up with a good follow-up after takes. This bishop is really strong, so I want to get e4 in, and maybe some bishop e5, but can't say it's very easy. Okay, so let's start by attacking this pawn while developing a piece. Shouldn't be too bad. It might be really bad with this knight g5 actually. Now this is hanging. Completely missed this one. I don't even have a very convincing way to continue. Castle, there's queen h5. Even if rook f8, there's queen h5. Yeah. My position is really bad. Not sure I can save it anymore. Yeah, that's a pity. Okay, I need to find some solid idea. But I don't think there is any right now. Okay, how about moving the knight? I'll have to do something. I can't really just sit here till the end of the game, despite the fact that the position is lost. I'm just giving away my rook. And the opponent is anonymous. I'm not sure how I evaluate. I mean, to think in such a position where he has knight f7 clearly winning a rook is a bit mysterious to me. I wonder what he's thinking about. I wonder why my opponent is thinking for so long. Just to take on f7. Now maybe we'll start playing fast again. Bishop f7. Queen g4 also. Now bishop g6. Yeah, he seems to know what he's doing. Can he save the knight? I'm wondering why he's thinking so long. Knight takes f7. So exchanging queens is probably a good practical solution for him. Kind of have to accept his challenge and play an exchange down.
Check.
Oh, this check is quite interesting. Forcing me to take with the king. So, material situation, he has a pawn in addition to the exchange. And I don't see any convincing way for me to build a fortress or anything like that. Just gonna go rook g1 and so on. I think I'll try to put my knight here. And now I don't have a good square for my king after rook g1. Maybe I put it on f5 just to see what happens. Rook g7 is probably the move. Knight d5 and then rook a g1. And the position should be very lost. Still thinking a lot. I mean, I'm gonna try to win on time. I mean, have to hope for something at least. Okay, but what? How exactly? I don't even have a move. Okay, I'll go here. Just hoping for the best. He's thinking for so long.
Check.
Okay. Wonder what's taking him so long. I might win on time after being a full rook down. Rook f6 is really good, yeah. But still I'm winning some of the material back. Despite still being lost, I can try to hold on. Don't think I'm getting mated. But here's this. Okay. I better take and not lose on time.
Check. 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 Check.
I want to make a draw, but I have more time, and he seems to play extremely slowly for no reason.
Check. White forfeits.
And we lost on time. Well, this was highly strange what happened here. I cannot really explain it, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it's not my place. But as far as the game went in the opening, here I should have played h5 to try to annoy this knight. That's actually quite smart. If it takes with the knight though, I'm not sure what's going on. So let's check it real quick. Knight takes. No, nothing special. So knight f6. I remember looking at this position and knight f6 was something I liked. But I guess it's not the right situation. Okay. So d4 is good. e5 is good. And I think bishop e6 should be a good choice. Oh, I remember in one game I played knight c6 and then regretting not starting with knight f6. This was the point, because then after bishop c4 I can go h5 maybe? No. Anyway, bishop e6 looks decent. f6 now prevents some knight g5 related ideas, but there's no reason why I will be worse here. h5 is a bit sharp, and here h4, knight f5, taking is a good choice, but now I have to find queen f6, and then knight e7, and I'm very challenging for his setup. I'm attacking f5 and he can't really protect it. He has to sack the pawn and hope for some compensation with the two bishops. This move was just losing in one move, and here I could have resigned, but I mean, just wanted to see what happens in a few more moves. And to this point my opponent, who's relatively low rated, played extremely well. And well, at this point I'm just thinking is, okay, everyone is capable of playing well when they are when they have a certain rating, but at least every now and then. But here, when he thought for like more than 2 minutes, there are two options. Either was extremely distracted, or maybe some problem with his internet, but I don't know. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but yeah, his moves seem to be quite convincing until this point. And had he only played, for example, here queen g4 or here queen h5, I mean, I can resign in a matter of a few more moves, but for some reason it took a lot of time for every move. And yeah, he played in this human way, queen f3, which is not very precise. Knight g6 is extremely precise actually. Yeah, I'm very surprised by what happened. Can't really, I mean, just completely losing for me, and then suddenly decides to give up some material after king f5, giving up the exchange back. Still completely winning, but playing extremely slowly. Yeah, can't say I understand what was going on. Of course, this is easily winning for white. Should have given another check, but I wanted to win because of the time situation. Yeah, and then suddenly after rook e4 he was winning again. But king h3, again the most precise move. Okay. So yeah, so I've got my suspicions that there's something a bit fishy about this, the way my opponent played, but again, it's not my responsibility to judge, and I did learn something from this game. I blundered in the opening, and I shouldn't have overlooked this knight g5 idea, so I'm glad it happened here in this game, and not in one of my Olympiad games, let's say, or any other classical game. And well, for the next games I'll try to play more convincingly and possibly even faster in the opening. So thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you learned something from this weird experience. And if you want to learn some more, then keep watching the next video.